Politics is a very interesting game. William Samoei Ruto has been controlling Kenyan politics for the past 4 good years. He was controlling each and available space, be it media, be it the narrative. William Ruto was always controlling everything. And as a matter of fact, the only thing which was remaining or which was standing between the Deputy President, Dr. William Ruto, and the presidency at some point around 2019 was the remainder of President Uhuru Kenyatta's term. But William Ruto committed a lot of political mistakes. And today, I don't think the presidency is as close for the DP the way it was before. So in this video today, I want to explain to you guys why personally, I strongly believe that William Samoei Ruto is actually losing the grip of the country after 4 years campaign. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two and click the subscribe button. And to the subscribers, I want you guys to continue supporting this channel. And the best way you can do is to click the thumbs up button. You can drop your comment and you can share the video. But for this particular one, please just click that thumbs up button. One question which Kenyans are really asking is whether William Samoei Ruto is losing the grip of the country. Last week was not very good for them. And even today, the deputy president is in Kisii. Yesterday, we saw what happened. And I can conclude that even today is not very good for the DP. Why is the deputy president losing the grip of the country? In my view, the DP is losing the grip of the country because of these reasons. Number one, he laid a weak foundation. Why were people supporting the DP? Why were they supporting him? There was no clear justification on why certain individuals were supporting the DP. The DP made the mistake of gauging his support with the crowd. So it means that whenever the DP would go to Central Kenya, his team would invest heavily on crowd. At the end of the day, some of those crowd never believed in him. So those are weak foundations. The deputy president failed, for example, to rally his team around a specific matter. Take, for example, in 2011-2013, President Uhuru Kenyatta and the deputy president managed to rally their supporters around one single issue, the ICC. And it was not just ICC, it was a matter of saving the president, saving Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta and Ruto were being taken to The Hague. So their supporters needed to rescue them from The Hague. And that's how they were able to rally the support. For the DP, up to now, I still don't know his rallying call. You know, when President Uhuru Kenyatta termed the DP Mutu Mwenye na Tanga Tanga, then they turned that into Team Tanga Tanga. Then, again, when the Daily Nation or something wrote about the Hustlers jet, and Mutai Ngunyi came up with the Hustler narrative, he picked it. Then, from nowhere, he picked the bottoms-up approach. When BBI came, he was against it. So basically, those who are supporting the DP today cannot tell you why they are supporting the DP. If you look at Raila Odinga, those who supported him over the years always believed that he was the change that Kenyans needed. What can you attribute the DP to? He's a hustler. Is the deputy president a hustler? Is he the only first president of the Republic of Kenya who has come or is going to come from poor background? So even that narrative is being lost because of the new narrative of bottoms up. So I think the deputy president ought to have laid a very firm foundation for his support. He was in Jubilee. He had hoped that he was going to rely on the support of Jubilee. So when Uhuru Kenyatta took away Jubilee, so the DP today doesn't have that foundation of Jubilee. The second reason why the DP is losing the grip of the country, if you ask me, is the fact that he was keen on numbers. Of course, politics is a game of perception, game of numbers, perception of numbers and real numbers. So the DP embarked on a journey of welcoming each and everybody into his team. Whether you support him or not, but as long as you are anti-President Uhuru Kenyatta and anti-Raila Odinga. So at the end of the day, anybody who had a misunderstanding with Raila, anybody who had a misunderstanding with the president, were welcomed into Team Tanga Tanga. They never believed in William Samoei Ruto. It was kind of enemy of your enemy becomes your friend. And this is what is now hurting him. Because, for example, someone like, let me just give you an example. Mwangi Kiunjuri. You know, Mwangi Kiunjuri fell out with President Uhuru Kenyatta. He went to the DP. Why? Because they fell out. Now, what will happen if Uhuru and Kiunjuri were to mend fences? Go to Eli Dowalo. Eli Dowalo fell out with Raila Odinga. If today he were to go back to Raila Odinga, take Johnson Muthama, for example. Johnson Muthama fell out with Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Odinga. If a truce were to be brokered between Kalonzo, Muthama, and even Raila, and Muthama decides to leave, because I don't think Muthama, there is something, anything which tied Muthama to the DP ideologically. The idea of accepting everybody into the team and then giving them roles because they've fallen out with Raila or fallen out with the DP, in my view, was not the right thing. Look, for example, how Uhuru Kenyatta crafted his team. His Jubilee Party is full of people who have stood and believed in him for a very long time. That's how you do it. Raila Odinga, if you look at ODM Party, majority of the people in the leadership position of ODM Party are people who have stood with Raila Amolo Odinga. Those who are joining, you just join, but it's difficult for you to just join and get positions within those parties or just be embraced. Because some of these things, they are processed. So you must trust the process. Not that everybody who opposes Raila and anybody who opposes Ruto, anybody who opposes Uhuru and anybody who opposes Raila then becomes part of your team and you give them numbers. Politics is not about that. The DP ought to have identified people who believes in him. Then probably start molding them into believers. Something like that. You go to Mombasa, my friend Hassan Omar fell out with Joho. Joho is a close ally of Raila. Joins Tanga Tanga, automatically is given a number to play. You don't play politics like that. What if, for example, Hassan decides today, my chance of becoming the governor of Mombasa is through ODM, then he makes a comeback to ODM party. Where will that leave the DP? So I tend to believe that the idea of accepting each and every individual from the street was not the wise thing for the DP. Number 3 is the politics of money. I know so many people, including some of my friends, who went to Tanga Tanga because they believed if you go to Tanga Tanga, then you'll make money. They never went there because they believed in DP. Most of them have actually left because they were invited to Karen once, they were each given 50,000, then that was the end. You don't have any other way of reaching out to DP, reaching out to his contact, unless through the people who brokered those meetings. Today, they are broke in the streets. I know some who are even very close to some operatives in ODM, some are even working in some ODM offices, but because they believe that going to the DP's office, working with the William Ruto was going to make them overnight millionaire, then they realize it's not possible. So if you want to develop or to create people who believes in you, money should not be the motivating factor. Ask your team to organize a rally in Nakuru, tell them you are coming. If they ask you for mobilization fee, tell them I'm sending you basic things. Money for public address, money for the venue, and let people come. So if they don't come, then you get your popularity. But not this idea of paying people, you give them money so that they attend the meetings. So the day someone will disappear with the money, you organize a big rally, someone decides it's almost elections time, you hand them over cash, they decide to disappear. What will happen? So the DP made his politics of money. And there are so many people who are associating with the DP because of that money. And that can explain why, for example, today, majority of members of parliament who are with the DP have started leaving. Because it has reached a point where the money they were getting is no longer important for them. What is important for them is their political future. How are they going to retain their seats? Someone was telling me, not someone, just before, after the moment Aisha joined Ruto, I was asking a member of parliament who is close to her. The member of parliament was telling me that Aisha told her that the reason why she is with the Ruto are several, but they are monetary. Number one, every week, anytime she was attending an event, she was being facilitated. So every Friday she would go get 300,000. Then that time DP was still very powerful. So you are told identify projects in your constituencies, roads. Then what happens? You identify a road, you identify a contractor. He will make phone calls. He's good at that. He will make a phone call to the relevant authorities. You'll be given that contract, even through your friends. They do it. So you have weekly allowance. In your constituency, there are roads which are made. Yeah, because of your association with the DP when he was very powerful. And by the way, that's why those particular roles were given to Matiang'i, because he was using them that way. So you have a road, then the contractor, it's you who is sourcing for. So the locals are happy, you are happy, the locals are happy that this particular road. Because as a member of parliament, you know which road has more impact. So when those was removed, what happens? So making his campaign about money is also going to affect him. And it's, in fact, I tend to think that if he's not going to sustain it, it's going to affect him big deal. Number 4 is early campaigns. Scarcity normally increases value. So the deputy president, and I must give him credit, has been here for 4 good years. He's campaigned for the presidency for good years. He sold his agenda. He has responded to all other matters raised against him. He has attacked his opponents. So there's nothing new. So the idea of early campaigns made Ruto available all the time. And his price decreased with the time. And that's why today, when Raila Odinga is in Garissa, the people there are eager to see him. When Raila Odinga is in Central, the people there are eager to see him. Why? Because he's been scarce. What about President Uhuru Kenyatta? Uhuru Kenyatta is currently out of touch, he's out of reach. When Uhuru will start going to the larger Mount Kenya region, I'm sure there are people who would just want to go and see their president for the last time. So early campaign has also affected the DP in a very big way. Number 5 is propaganda and PR. Of course, propaganda is good for politics. PR is also good for politics. But when you take it to a level where it's not serving the purpose, then there is no need. Why should you focus on convincing people that you have people by ferrying them to events, for example? Why? Why should propaganda be what Dennis Itumbi is good at? Be the main motivation for your campaigns. You just need issues, identify issue, and focus on that particular issue. If you tell people that Raila Odinga ni mganga, right? Severally, the people will get pissed off. Yeah, because Raila is a friend to Obasanjo, he goes to Nigeria. Then your daughter, coincidentally, gets married to that country. So propaganda has not helped the DP much. Attacking opponents on issues which are not really necessary. Number 6 is lack of opponents. For the last 4 years, the DP was alone in the field dancing. And people were watching, hey, huyu jamaa anajua kucheza. He's so good in dancing. So people would turn out to go and see how the DP was dancing. He was alone for 4 years. No opponent. Now, the opponents are going to the dance floor. And the voters are now saying, okay, Kobe was not the best dancer. This one can dance better than him. So lack of opponent also cheated the deputy president that he had already had the people. Number 7, which is my last point, and very important, is the idea of underrating Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga's influence. Basically, what Ruto did, he overrated his influence in this country. The fact that he could rally members of parliament, over 100 of them, to go for a press conference to attack the president. The fact that the deputy president would go to central Kenya and win over the support of almost all members of parliament there. He would go to Nyanza, for example, Kisii, and convince members of parliament there to join him. He would go to Western, buy people tea there. Yeah, go to Coast. He thought he was more influential than these people. That was not the truth. The truth is he underrated the influence of Raila. He underestimated the influence of Uhuru Kenyatta. Now these guys are now coming out. And Raila Odinga is coming out through just one thing. Azimio la Umoja. Very well organized. From point A to point B. Point C to D. To an extent that the deputy president has now turned into playing catch-up. Initially, it was Raila's and his team who would try to respond. I don't know what you think, but let us wait and see how these events are going to unfold. Because personally, I don't want to rule out the possibility of William Samoei Ruto making a serious comeback. But if you are honest, because what we do on this channel is to speak the truth, is that William Samoei Ruto's campaign is not as it used to be 3 months ago. It has kind of slowed down. Why? Because of the reasons which I have explained. Thank you guys for taking your time to watch this channel. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.